Good morning from the farmer's garden. I'm one of the farmers, and oddly enough, today I'm in the bathroom. So I just finished washing eggs. Yes, I washed them in the bathroom. I just have this hang up about washing the eggs in the kitchen where I fix jelly to sell. I know that I clean everything when I'm done. It just is a mental block. So I wash them in the bathroom. But I have been washing eggs. I washed 180 eggs today. I tend to do eggs about once a week. As long as they still have the bloom on them, they're safe to store outside the refrigerator. So I kind of let them pile up and then I wash them all at once and get those in cartons. So I've been washing eggs and looking at the differences in our eggs. And I wanted to address a few common questions that we get in regard to the various sizes and shapes of our eggs. So I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see what I'm talking about. And we'll get started with a little lesson on eggs this morning. All right, 180 eggs this morning. This flat right here is pretty much all ideal size and shape. They're all pretty uniform. You can see they're kind of level across the top. There's not any great big ones. There's not any little tiny ones. They're all pretty close to the same. This is very similar to what you would find in the store. But when you buy our eggs, a lot of times the cartons look a little bit more like this. So you can see we've got a smaller one. We've got one that the shell is slightly irregular. I'm not sure how well that shows up on camera, but it's got some little speckles, little lump on it there. This one is larger. I cannot locate it, but I had one earlier that was wrinkled on the end. So you can see that these are not all perfect. So what happens when you buy eggs in the store is they have sorted all of the eggs to look like this. They grade the eggs, which means they candle them or hold a light, a special extra bright light that shines through, make sure there's no deformities inside the egg. They sort them by size and by quality of the shell and by shape. So for example, if instead of a nice regular egg, this was a long skinny one, this one would be sorted out and it wouldn't go in. These tiny ones that I have over here wouldn't make it into your carton. Now that's not saying that commercial layers don't ever lay tiny eggs, because they do. What happens with these little ones is they go into what's called cracked egg products. So baked goods or frozen products that contain eggs, cartons of eggs like egg whites and that sort of thing. Cracked egg products contain the irregular or imperfect eggs. So any of these that were found at the laying house, at the hen house, they would just sort them out and get rid of those. And that is why when you purchase eggs at the store, they're all very uniform. There's no issues with them. Like this guy here, it's probably safe to eat. We're not going to put it in a carton because it is cracked, but this one would probably just be tossed completely because it is cracked. So different things like that that end up leading to, I won't necessarily say waste, because these do go into cracked egg products. They do get used, but certainly not just being sent to the store. So when you purchase eggs from us, you're going to find some occasionally that are too big or too small. Occasionally you might get a wrinkled eggshell where the end of it is oddly shaped or pointed, or there's a literal curve or crinkle in the shell. We try to sort out anything that's cracked or that has a thin spot, because we don't want you to get those home and they're not any good. A lot of times we eat those eggs ourselves. But that's just kind of the rundown on why when you buy farm fresh eggs, whether it's from us or a friend, or if you have a neighbor that gives you eggs, a lot of times they're not perfect and you think, what is the difference? There it is. It's not that our chickens are not as good as what comes at a hatchery, or sorry, at a laying facility. It's just that our chickens aren't sorted and graded. And so we send out or sell all the eggs regardless of size and shape, as long as they're safe to consume. So there you go. Hope you learned a little bit of something about eggs and how they're sold, how we sell them, and how stores sell them. And hope you enjoyed your visit to the farm. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure and come back when you can stay longer.